The galaxy had many old stories. Stories of wars. Stories of heroes. Stories of great empires that rose and fell. But there was one story the aliens never forgot. The day they betrayed humanity. It happened long before most species were born. Back then, humans were new to the galactic stage. They were still learning, still growing, still exploring the unknown. The Quran Dominion, a proud alien empire, saw humans as weak. They pretended to be allies. They signed trade deals. They offered protection. And then, when humans trusted them the most, the Quran attacked. It was fast. It was brutal. It was merciless. Human colonies burned. Ships were destroyed. Millions died in a single week. The galaxy watched and did nothing. Because at that time humans were small. Humans had no power. No allies. No voice. The Quran only stopped when they thought humans were finished. But they were wrong. Humanity survived. Humanity rebuilt. Humanity evolved. And they remembered every scar, every scream, every betrayal. Humans never asked for payback. They never went to war for revenge. They remained silent for a very long time. Some believed humans had forgiven. Some believed humans had forgotten. But everyone also knew a quiet fear. Humans do not forget debts. Humans return them. Always. A strange signal. Many years later, deep in a lonely part of the galaxy, something strange happened. A signal appeared. Weak at first. Then stronger. Then powerful enough to reach every major civilization. Nobody understood its meaning. It was not an attack. It was not a warning. It was not a message from any known species. The signal was a simple repeating tone. Beep, beep, beep. Like a heartbeat in the dark. But the tone carried something else. An old code. A code that had not been used in over a century. A human code. When the news spread, the galaxy froze. Why is the code active? What does it mean? Has humanity sent a weapon? Has the old debt been remembered? Fear spread like fire. The Alien Council meets. In a massive floating station called the Galactic Core, the leaders of dozens of species gathered for an emergency meeting. Long tables. High ceilings. Bright lights shaking slightly from tension. The Varnic Chancellor looked around nervously. This signal is not normal. Humans do not send random codes. The Tari speaker clicked his claws. They are sending a message. Or maybe a warning. The council murmured. Everyone knew humans only used that old code once before. Right before the Quran betrayal. The Zoth ambassador whispered. Could this be connected to the old war? Silence spread across the hall. Finally, the one voice nobody wanted to hear echoed through the chamber. The Quran Emperor. His giant armored form rose from his seat. His claws trembled, but he tried to hide it. This code cannot be related to us, he said, too fast, too defensive. Humanity moved on. Humanity forgave. The council stared at him. Everyone knew the Quran were lying. Everyone knew the Quran feared humanity more than anyone. Because they were the ones who betrayed them. They were the ones who caused the old debt. The Chancellor asked quietly, Emperor, what if humans have not forgotten? The Emperor looked away. A whisper from human space. A new transmission arrived at the council chamber. It was short. It was cold. It was human. Only 7 words. We are returning what was owed. The Quran Emperor collapsed back in his seat. The Zoth ambassador gasped. The council erupted into panic. What does that mean? Are humans attacking? Is this the beginning of a war? Are the humans finally repaying the old debt? Is it too late to beg for mercy? The Tari speaker raised a shaking claw. Everyone knows, when humans repay something, they repay it completely. Fear thickened the air. The galaxy holds its breath. The signal kept repeating. Beep, beep, beep. But now something changed. New data appeared. Human ships were moving. Not one ship. Not a fleet. Multiple armadas. And they were all heading in the same direction. Straight toward Quran space. The Emperor stood up, voice cracking with terror. They come for us. Humans come for us. The Varnic Chancellor whispered. Then may the stars protect you. The Emperor shouted. You must help us. The galaxy must unite. Humanity must be stopped. But the other species looked away. They remembered the betrayal too. No one wanted to stand between humans and their target. No one wanted to share the Quran's fate. The Chancellor spoke in a cold voice. You made the debt. Now you must face the payment. The debt returns. In human space, silent fleets formed into formation. No speeches. No threats. No mercy. Humanity moved with purpose. A purpose they had waited for. For more than 100 years. The old debt was returning. And the galaxy could only watch. And tremble. The fear did not stay inside the council chamber. It spread like a storm across every corner of the galaxy. Every news channel. Every military base. Every trading station. Every shadowed alley. Everyone heard the same terrifying message. Humanity is repaying the debt. No one knew exactly what it meant. But everyone knew it was bad. Very bad. Panic in the stars. On the outer rim, alien families packed their ships. They wanted to fly anywhere far from human space. Merchants closed their shops. Travel routes were canceled. Mining colonies went silent. Even pirates stopped attacking ships. When humans moved, nobody wanted to be in their path. Rumors spread fast. Humans are bringing a superweapon. No, it's a revenge fleet. I heard they created a weapon that melts planets quietly. Someone saw human ships vanish into hyperspace without light. Some of the rumors were lies. Some were exaggerations. But all of them carried fear. And that fear felt real. The watching eyes. Across the galaxy, dozens of intelligence agencies activated. Spy drones moved. Deep scanners hummed. Secret satellites turned toward human territory. Everyone wanted to know what humanity was planning. In the Varkesh Intelligence Hub, a nervous officer stared at the data. "Sir, the humans have deployed 5 long-range armadas." His commander swallowed. "How fast are they moving?" The officer zoomed in. "They are moving faster than before. Their engines look upgraded." The commander closed his eyes. Humans improving technology always meant 2 things. Silence first. Shock next. The Quran in despair. Inside the Quran palace, chaos exploded. High generals argued. Scientists shouted. Officers blamed each other. The Quran emperor slammed his fist on the table. "Enough." Everyone froze. The emperor's golden robes shook. His voice was filled with fear he could no longer hide. "They are coming for us. Everyone knows it." A general whispered. Maybe they will talk first." The emperor glared. "You fool. Humans do not waste words. When they speak, they act. When they act, they finish." A young officer raised his hand carefully. "My emperor, maybe we can ask the other species to help us?" The emperor laughed bitterly. "Help us? After what we did to the humans? After we betrayed them? After we left them to die?" He stared at the holomap showing human fleets approaching. "No one will help us. Not this time." A private meeting. Back at the Galactic Court, 2 leaders met secretly in a dark room. The Varnik Chancellor and the Tari Speaker. The Chancellor whispered, "If the humans destroy the Quran completely, will they stop there?" The Speaker clicked his claws slowly. "Humans do not start wars. They end them." "What are you saying?" The Speaker leaned closer. "Humans are not like us. They do not enjoy destruction. They do not enjoy fear. But when they act with finality." The Chancellor's eyes widened. "You think they only want the Quran?" "Yes. They will not touch anyone else." The Chancellor sighed with relief. The Speaker added quietly, "Unless someone interferes." Silence fell between them. Human space, cold preparation. Inside human territory, everything was different. No panic. No fear. Only calm. The human fleets moved in perfect silence. Gigantic warships, black, angular, and glowing with faint blue light, formed into massive formations. In the command ship Horizon's Wrath, Commander Aaron Hale stood before a large holographic map. "Status." The officer replied. "All 5 armadas ready, sir. Engines stable. Weapons stable. No errors. Good. And civilian zones. All safe. No threats detected." Hale nodded. He looked calm. Too calm. His voice was like ice. "Prepare Phase 1. We reclaim what was taken. We return what was owed." The galaxy holds its breath. News channels tried to stay calm, but their voices shook. Human fleets have left their borders. Multiple civilizations report human ships passing silently. No communication. No warnings. Every species is watching closely. The Quran Dominion is in full panic mode. Even children whispered the same question. What will humans do? Diplomats begged for answers. Alien representatives sent messages to humanity. Humans, please talk to us. Tell us your goals. Tell us your plans. Tell us the meaning of the old code. No reply. Another message. Humanity, we seek peace. No reply. The silence was terrifying. A silence louder than any weapon. The first human move. In the council chamber, A new alert flashed on the central screen. The Varnik Chancellor gasped. Oh no! A projection of the map appeared. The entire galaxy stared. Human fleets had entered Quran territory. No firing. No warnings. No hesitation. Just silent, unstoppable advance. The Tari speaker whispered. They are not attacking. The Chancellor swallowed. No. This is worse. What do you mean? The Chancellor looked pale. They are positioning. Humans only position like this when they plan something huge. Every leader in the chamber felt their blood turn cold. The galaxy was watching. But soon, they would be trembling. Human space looked calm on the outside. But inside, everything was moving with perfect precision. No shouting. No chaos. No rushing. Humans were like a silent machine. Every person knew their role. Every ship knew its position. Every command was followed without delay. Because humanity was not confused. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were answering a debt. A very old debt. The command hall. Inside the massive human flagship Horizon's Wrath, Commander Aaron Hale stood in the center of a circular command hall. Giant screens floated around him. Data streamed like rivers of light. Planet maps, fleet routes, and enemy scans rotated silently. Hale watched everything with cold, sharp eyes. His voice was calm. Report. A female officer spoke. All fleets synced. Phase 1 activation in 30 minutes. Enemy scanners do not detect us yet. Another officer added. Quran territory shows panic movement. They are trying to form defense lines, but failing. Hale nodded once. Expected. The officers waited. Nobody dared to ask questions. Humans did not debate during missions. They executed. A look into the past. While Hale studied the map, his mind drifted back to old history, stories told to every child on Earth. The betrayal. The burning colonies. The screaming civilians. The shattered human ships. Humanity was weak then. But weakness created something powerful. It created unity. It created focus. It created memory. Humanity built fleets not for conquest, but for the day someone tried to hurt them again. And now, after a century of silence, that day had arrived. Commander Hale spoke quietly. They thought humans forgot. The officer beside him nodded. They were wrong, sir. Yes, Hale answered. They were. Preparing the silent weapon. In a lower deck of the ship, scientists worked around a giant sphere. The core. A weapon not meant for destruction. A weapon meant for control. It didn't fire lasers. It didn't drop bombs. It simply shut things down. Ships. Shields. Engines. Weapons. All of them turned off like someone flipping a switch. This was humanity's greatest secret. A silent weapon born from a century of loss. Dr. Elin Mara looked at the glowing core. It will be enough, she whispered. Her assistant asked, to destroy them? Dr. Mara shook her head. No, not destroy. Disable. Disarm. Paralyze. She touched the glass panel softly. We don't need to kill them. We just need to take their power away. Human Council meeting. On Earth, the Human High Council sat in a quiet, circular room. No arguing. No shouting. Only calm voices. The chairwoman spoke softly. The Quran betrayal took millions of our people. We never asked for war. We never demanded payment. A counselor added. But if they rebuild their weapons, they threaten us again. The chairwoman nodded. And humanity only asks for one thing. Balance. Everyone agreed. Humans were not cruel. But humans were not forgiving either. The chairwoman spoke the final order. Let Commander Hale proceed. Let the galaxy learn that humans repay their debts. Without hate. Without noise. Without mercy. Alien spies panic. In the shadows of outer space, alien spy probes watched the human fleets. A Varkesh spy drone transmitted. Humans are forming a tri-layer formation. Inner circle of dreadnoughts. Middle circle of cruisers. Outer wall of battleships. The Varkesh analyst replied in panic. That is not a war formation. The operator stuttered. Tish, then what is it? The analyst whispered. It is a punishment formation. The drone caught a final image before being quietly jammed. Human ships glowing in perfect synchrony. Like one being. The analyst whispered. The galaxy is not ready for this. Inside the Quran throne room. The Quran emperor stared at the giant map. 5 human armadas heading straight toward his space. His general shouted. We must strike first. No, we must run. Use the old defense line. Contact the galaxy for support. The Emperor slammed his staff on the floor. Idiots. We tried all that a century ago. None of it worked. He leaned heavily on the table. Humans cannot be stopped by force. They evolve too fast. They don't attack to conquer. They attack to end the threat. He closed his eyes. And this time, we are the threat. The human fleet moves. Back aboard Horizon's Wrath, alarms glowed softly. Commander Hale raised his hand. Begin Phase 1. The officers activated the hyperspace engines. A massive hum filled the ship. Like a heartbeat. Strong. Unstoppable. In one unified motion, thousands of human ships vanished into hyperspace. No sound. No light. Just disappearance. A whisper in the void. We return what was owed. The galaxy watches in horror. Every species saw the same thing on their scanners. A wave of human fleets flashing across the map. Too fast to track. Too organized to predict. Too silent to understand. A Zoth strategist spoke softly. This is not war. Her assistant asked. Then what is it? She stared with wide, terrified eyes. This is repayment. The galaxy trembled. Humanity had awakened. And nothing would be the same again. The dark arrival. The human fleet exited hyperspace without warning. No bright light. No explosion. Just a quiet shift, like shadows becoming solid. One moment the star system was empty. The next, thousands of human warships surrounded the Quran border world, Gore 7. Every alien sensor went wild. Every alarm screamed. Every Quran soldier froze in fear. Because the humans were not scattered. They were arranged in a perfect sphere around the planet. Tight, clean, and silent. A formation designed not for war, but for domination. On the bridge of Horizon's Wrath, Commander Hale stood unmoving. Status, he said. Full lock, the officer replied. Planetary defenses confused. They cannot target us. Hale gave a small nod. Good. Prepare the silent core. The room grew tense. Nobody breathed. They knew once the core activated, the galaxy would understand humanity's real power. Panic on the planet. On Gore 7's surface, Quran Command Center turned into chaos. Screens flickered. Warning lights flashed red. Officers shouted at each other. They're everywhere. We can't read their movement. Our missiles won't lock on. The planetary general slammed his claws on the table. Calm down. Humans are bluffing. Activate shield grid. A nervous technician tried. Forcing shield online in 3, 1. Nothing happened. The technician restarted the system. Still nothing. Sir, it's not the humans. His voice shook. It's our own systems. They're failing from the inside. The general's skin turned pale. What does that mean? The technician whispered. It means, humans already hacked us. The silent core activates. On the human flagship, the giant sphere began to glow. Lights pulsed like a heartbeat. Energy waves trembled in the air. Dr. Elin Mara stared at it with steady eyes. Beginning wide-range neutralization, she said. The weapon did not fire beams. It did not send explosions. It simply released a silent pulse. A soft wave of invisible energy. Nobody on the Quran side saw it. Nobody heard it. But everyone felt it. Quran pilots screamed as their ships shut down. Soldiers dropped guns that suddenly powered off. The command center screens went dark. Missile silos locked themselves. Engines died. Shields collapsed. Weapons froze. Human ships watched calmly. As an entire planet went blind. Without suffering a single casualty. Commander Hale whispered. Target neutralized. No deaths reported. The officer confirmed. Yes, sir. Only silence. The message. Human ships sent one transmission to the planet. Only 4 words. Your debt is due. The Quran general stared at the message speechless. He knew the humans could destroy them completely. But they didn't. This was worse. This was humiliation. No battle. No chance to fight. No victory. Just total helplessness. Galaxy-wide shockwave. All major species monitored the event. The Varkesh Alliance. The Eluan Observers. The Torcan Union. Even distant species who believed humans were peaceful scholars. They all watched Gore 7 fall without resistance. Eluan historian whispered. Humans no longer fight wars. They end them. Another replied. They waited 100 years for this. They learned, adapted, evolved, and now they strike with precision. Across the galaxy, fear spread like wildfire. Governments called emergency meetings. Alliances strengthened borders. Some species evacuated frontier planets. Everyone feared they might be next, but they didn't understand. Humans were not attacking the galaxy. Only the ones who owed them a debt. Inside the Quran throne room, the Emperor received the news. A trembling messenger fell to his knees. Sire, humans did not destroy anything. They simply turned everything off. The Emperor's claws slipped from the throne. He whispered. So the stories were true. His generals surrounded him, desperate. What do we do? Do we surrender? Do we hide? Do we launch all-out war? The Emperor closed his eyes. No, not yet. He stood slowly, trembling. Humans attack with purpose. This is only the beginning. We must discover what they truly want. He looked at the star map, where 5 human fleets were approaching deeper Quran space. This is not revenge, he muttered. This is a lesson. Human determination. On Horizon's Wrath, Commander Hale looked at the next target. Quran War Factory on Station V12, the officer reported. Heavily armed. High civilian presence. Hale nodded. Phase 2 directive? The officer recited. No civilian deaths. No unnecessary destruction. Disable only the threat. Hale smiled faintly. Good. Begin the jump. The fleet realigned. Engines hummed. The space around them warped. They moved with the precision of a knife, aimed at the heart of a giant monster. A whisper through the stars. As the human fleet vanished from Gore 7, a single message was broadcast to the entire galaxy. Humanity does not forget. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity repays its debts. Billions of beings trembled. Because humanity was not angry. Humanity was focused. And nothing in the galaxy was more dangerous than focused humans. The second target. The human fleet arrived at their next destination. Quran War Station V12. Unlike the last planet, this place was ready for war. Massive cannons guarded the outer ring. Swarm fighters floated in tight formations. A battle fleet of 60 Quran warships sat in waiting, engines hot. Commander Hale studied the scene calmly. Enemy ships already positioned, the officer said. They expected us. Hale gave a small nod. They think numbers will save them. Dr. Mara whispered. They still do not understand our technology. Hale raised his hand. Prepare. Silence spread. The entire bridge grew quiet. They all knew the enemy had trained for a fight. But the humans were not here to fight. They were here to end the fight. Quran War Council's last hope. Inside V-12's command chamber, the Quran admirals watched the human fleet appear. Admiral Trask, the strongest military mind among them, snarled. Good. Let them come. We will overwhelm them with fire. His second-in-command hesitated. Sir, the humans disabled Gore 7 without firing a shot. That was a weak colony. Trask growled. This is V-12. This is our fortress. But a scientist spoke softly. Sir, the humans used something unusual. Something that shut down power without damage. Trask slammed his fist. I don't care. They cannot do it twice. But deep inside even he felt fear. Human weapon. Silence spread. On the Horizon's Wrath, lights dimmed. The silent core activated again. But this time in a different mode. Releasing spread in 5, 4, 3. Dr. Mara counted. A soft vibration passed through every human ship. Unlike the single pulse used before, this mode released thousands of thin waves. Silent, invisible, unstoppable. They moved like gentle ripples through space. They touched every Quran ship. And in one instant, engines died. Weapons froze. Communications collapsed. The entire Quran fleet became dark statues. Quran panic returns. Admiral Trask watched horror unfold. His flagship went dark. His screens shut off. The engine stopped humming. He tried to activate backup power. Nothing. Impossible. Impossible, he roared. How can one species disable us like toys? The scientist whispered. Sir, this proves they knew our technology better than we do. Trask grabbed him by the collar. How? How can humans know us better than ourselves? The scientist said the one sentence Trask never wanted to hear. They learned. For 100 years, they learned. Human fleet moves in. Commander Hale watched the frozen Quran ships. All enemy vessels neutralized, the officer confirmed. No destruction. No casualties. Hale nodded. Good. Open the channel. A large screen activated. Admiral Trask's face appeared, furious, terrified. Hale spoke calmly. Admiral Trask, your weapons are disabled. Your station is offline. Your soldiers cannot fight. Trask spat. Human. You think disabling us is victory? Coward. Hale didn't react. This is not victory. This is repayment. Trask froze. Repayment? For what? Hale's voice dropped. You know the answer. 1 century ago your empire broke a treaty. You attacked helpless human colonies. You killed millions. And then you lied to the galaxy. Trask stayed silent. Hale continued. We did not forget. We did not forgive. We rebuilt. And now, we return what you gave. The choice. Hale's next words made every Quran on the station tremble. You have 2 choices. Option 1. Stand down. Surrender your weapons. Accept judgment. Option 2. We shut down every Quran system in this sector, permanently. The screen went silent. Admiral Trask wanted to scream, to fight, to attack. But he couldn't. He had no weapons. No engines. No hope. Finally he lowered his head. What happens if we surrender? Hale answered. Then humanity will not destroy you. We are not here to erase your species. We only want the truth restored. Trask whispered. And if I refuse? Hale looked at him without emotion. Then your empire will face a silence. So deep, that even your stars will fear it. The surrender. Trask's hands shook. He had never surrendered in his life. He had never imagined humans would force him to. But now, he closed his eyes. I surrender. The moment the words left his mouth, every Quran officer dropped their weapons in shock. Hale nodded once. Surrender confirmed. Deactivate silence spread. Human ships powered down the wave. Lights returned to Quran ships. Weapons came back online. But all targeting systems were locked. They could not aim at humans. They could not betray the surrender. A new message to the galaxy. Across the stars the broadcast spread. Station V12 has surrendered to humanity. Without a single casualty. Governments panicked. Species whispered. How are humans so powerful? What new technology did they create? What else can they shut down? The galaxy trembled. Humanity advanced. And the Quran Empire felt its first taste of collapse. The human fleet moves deeper. Commander Hale sat back in his chair. Next target, he asked. His officer replied. Quran Shipyard Prime. The heart of their war machine. Hale stood. Then let us continue the debt collection. The fleet aligned. Engines powered up. Stars stretched like bright lines. And then, they vanished into hyperspace. Silent and unstoppable. The approach to Shipyard Prime. The human fleet entered Quran space deeper than any human ship had ever gone. Before them floated Shipyard Prime. The largest military construction facility in the Quran Empire. It was enormous. Dozens of metal rings surrounded a central core. Thousands of half-finished warships hung suspended in place. Factories glowed bright red with heat. Repair drones swarmed like insects. This was the Quran military heartbeat. Without it, their empire would collapse. On the bridge of Horizon's Wrath, Commander Hale stared at the massive structure. Shipyard Prime, he said softly. Where the old war began. Dr. Elon Mara nodded. It was their attack from this station that destroyed our first deep space colony. Hale's eyes hardened. Then this is where the debt must be settled. The Quran Emperor's last defense. Inside the Quran throne room, messages streamed in one after another. Gore, 7 disabled. Station V12 surrendered. Human fleet entering core territory. The Emperor trembled. How did humans learn so much about us? He whispered. A general answered carefully. Sire, they studied every war, every weakness, every signal. They watched quietly for decades. Another general added. Now they are moving toward Shipyard Prime. The Emperor's claws scraped the throne arm. Activate Omega Defense Protocol. The room fell silent. Sire, that protocol was never tested, a scientist warned. It may destroy our own systems. The Emperor growled. If we lose Shipyard Prime, the Empire dies. Activate it. Omega Defense activates. As the human fleet arrived, Shipyard Prime suddenly lit up. Massive shield domes snapped into place. Giant cannons rotated toward the humans. Thousands of drones awakened and formed attack swarms. A bright red pulse shot out from the station. The officer on Hale's bridge shouted. Sir. They activated Omega Defense. It's an energy lockdown wave. Hale folded his arms calmly. Let it come. The wave reached the human ships. It passed over them. Everyone waited. Nothing happened. The wave died quietly in the void. The Quran generals stared in disbelief. Why didn't it work? What did humans do? Our strongest weapon failed. Hale turned to Dr. Mara. Confirm system integrity. Everything's stable, she replied. They tried to shut us down using their old technology. Hale smiled coldly. They forgot we moved forward. Human countermove, the pulse veil. Prepare pulse veil, Hale ordered. This was humanity's newest invention. Even the crew barely understood it. Dr. Mara initialized it. The human fleet became surrounded by a faint white haze, like fog made of starlight. What does it do? A young officer whispered. Dr. Mara answered. It hides us from enemy sensors, but also shows them something terrifying. What? The officer asked. She paused. The truth. The Quran see humanity's evolution. Inside Shipyard Prime, every alien screen flickered. Static. Then white light. Then, images. Images of human cities rising from ruins. Human scientists building new technologies. Human soldiers training for decades. Human fleets growing stronger every year. Then the final image. A message written in old human script. We are ready now. The Quran commander of the station collapsed into his chair. They watched us for 100 years, he whispered. They waited until we forgot the treaty. Until we grew arrogant. Another officer muttered. This is not revenge. This is judgment. Human fleet advances without sound. The human ships moved closer. Not firing. Not charging weapons. Just moving silently. Like a wall closing in. Every Quran soldier felt trapped. As if the darkness itself was watching them. Commander Hale's voice came through every speaker. Quran Empire. Your time is ending. We offer one chance. The station commander, shaking, responded. What chance? Hale replied. Stop building weapons. Deactivate all military production. Surrender Shipyard Prime. The commander swallowed. That is impossible. The Emperor would never allow it. Hale's tone did not change. Then the Emperor must face the debt he created. The Emperor's desperation. In the throne room, the Emperor watched the broadcast. He screamed. They dare threaten me? Me. I am the ruler of the strongest empire in the galaxy. But even his own generals did not believe him anymore. One general murmured. Strongest empire? We cannot even turn on our own weapons. Another added. Humans did not destroy our stations. But they destroyed our pride. The Emperor roared. Deploy the royal fleet. We must protect Shipyard Prime. A messenger spoke with trembling voice. Sire, the royal fleet refuses. They said the humans are unstoppable. The Emperor froze. For the first time in centuries, the Quran ruler felt fear. The human ultimatum. Back at the shipyard, Hale gave the final order. Broadcast the ultimatum. A powerful message echoed across the station. Surrender the shipyard. Stop the war machine. Or humanity will silence your empire forever. The crew of Shipyard Prime looked at their powerless weapons. Their broken systems. Their terrified leaders. They had no fight left. Finally, the station commander lowered his head. We surrender. Shipyard Prime is yours. Galaxy reactions. Every major civilization received the report. Shipyard Prime surrendered without a battle. Humans took the strongest Quran fortress. They are unstoppable. A silent terror spread. Because if humanity could defeat the Quran Empire's heart, without firing a shot, what else could they do? Humanity moves forward. Commander Hale turned away from the screen. Prepare for next phase, he said softly. His officer asked. What is the next phase, sir? Hale stared at the star map of the Quran capital world. And he simply said, Justice. The fleet aligned. Engines hummed. Space tore open. And humanity moved toward the final target. The final destination. The human fleet left Shipyard Prime behind. And entered the deepest point of Quran space. Ahead of them floated Quran Prime. The capital world. The home of billions. The heart of the empire. The place from where the old betrayal began. Commander Hale stood in silence. As the massive planet appeared on the main screen, clouds swirled over its purple oceans. Giant defense towers ringed its orbit. Royal ships hovered like dark guardians. But none of them moved. None fired. None dared. Dr. Elon Mara whispered. They know we are coming. But they have no strength to stop us. Hale nodded. This is where the 100-year debt ends. The Emperor faces reality. Inside the Quran throne room, the Emperor's voice cracked with panic. Move the royal fleet. Prepare the cannons. Do something. His generals stood silent. Their weapons didn't work. Their ships didn't launch. Their defenses were dead before the battle even started. A scientist bowed his head. Sire, humans shut down every system the moment we detected them. The Emperor shook with anger. How? How? We built the strongest machines in the galaxy. No, the general replied quietly. You built the loudest. Humans built the smartest. The Emperor's knees weakened. For the first time, he understood what fear truly felt like. Human ships enter orbit. The human fleet surrounded the capital planet. In a perfect, silent formation, millions of aliens watched from the surface, trembling as the sky filled with dark silhouettes. Every screen on the planet flickered. And then, Commander Hale's face appeared everywhere. On buildings, on military bases, in the Emperor's throne room, even on personal devices. His voice was calm, controlled. People of Quran Prime, we are not here to destroy your world. We are here for the one who broke the old peace. Gasps spread across the planet. They expected death. Instead, they heard justice. The arrest order. Commander Hale continued. 100 years ago your emperor betrayed the treaty. He ordered the attack on peaceful human colonies. He killed millions. His eyes hardened. Today the debt is collected. The message ended. A new one appeared. Hand over the emperor, or your empire will be silenced. The entire planet froze. Give up the emperor? Their ruler for centuries? Their symbol of strength? But what choice did they have? Their weapons were useless. Their ships were dead. Their defenses were silent. The emperor's last stand. Guards rushed into the throne room. Sire, the people demand you surrender. The emperor roared. I am your ruler. You cannot give me to humans. But the guards didn't move. For the first time they saw the truth. The emperor was not strong. He was scared. And scared leaders cause dead nations. A captain stepped forward. Your Majesty, if we don't surrender you, humans will shut down everything. Food systems, transport, medical centers. The emperor backed away. You traitors, you dare turn against your emperor? The captain whispered. We choose survival, not your pride. The guards surrounded him. The emperor screamed, clawing at the air. But it didn't matter. His own people dragged him away. Humanity receives the prisoner. On Horizon's Wrath, Commander Hale watched. As the Quran shuttle approached. Inside it sat the Emperor, bound, shaking, broken. Hale turned to his officer. Is the prisoner ready? Yes, sir. They surrendered him without resistance. Hale nodded. Then bring him aboard. When the shuttle docked, the Emperor was escorted through a quiet hall, lined with human soldiers. He looked around and whispered. What will you do to me? Commander Hale walked forward. We will not kill you. The Emperor exhaled with relief. Until Hale continued. But you will face the Galactic Court. Your crimes will be shown to every species. Your lies will end. The Emperor felt cold. This punishment was worse than death. Humanity's final message. A galaxy-wide broadcast began. People across millions of worlds watched. As humanity stood before the captured Emperor, Commander Hale spoke. The debt is paid. Humanity does not seek war. We seek truth. He looked into the camera. For 100 years we learned. We grew stronger. We became ready. Not for conquest, but for justice. Across the galaxy, species listened in silence. Humanity's words cut deeper than weapons. Hale continued. Let this be the lesson. Do not mistake peace for weakness. Do not mistake silence for surrender. Humans remember. Humans repay. The broadcast ended. The empire falls. Without their emperor, the Quran Empire collapsed in days. Colonies declared independence. Generals surrendered. Civilians cheered as the oppressive government fell. Humanity did not take control. They simply left. Their fleet moved away from Quran Prime. As quiet as it had arrived. They did not burn cities. They did not steal territory. They only removed the tyrant, who had caused a century of suffering. Commander Hale's final words. As the fleet returned home, Dr. Mara asked Hale, do you think the galaxy will fear us now? Hale looked at the stars. They will, he said softly. But fear is not our goal. What is our goal? She asked. He smiled faintly. A galaxy where no one repeats the old mistake. He looked at the dark space ahead. Where no one forgets that humanity will always return the favor. The engines ignited. The human fleet vanished into hyperspace, leaving behind a galaxy forever changed.